Shalom, everyone. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, y'all, there are a lot of white people online that can't understand why black people don't trust them. And you know what, y'all? I don't believe these folks are that naive. You know, this stuff has been going on for centuries. And it's not like y'all have done anything to make amends. You haven't done nothing. That's why this whole stuff has not gone away. It's still being spoken to this day because you have done nothing. You think it's going to magically go away and everybody's just going to go on with life. It's never going to go away. It is unresolved trauma. And that trauma has been passed down through the generations and nothing has been done. The bottom line is if y'all would have given reparations, you wouldn't be hearing none of this stuff today. You wouldn't be hearing nothing. We wouldn't even be around you to say anything. Most of us probably would have went on with our lives, started our businesses, got homes and kids off to school. We would have been building our Black Wall Street, many of them all over the place. But you want this to go away, but you don't want to do anything to make amends. Well, that's very unrealistic. And it probably explains why you're still listening to this stuff today. It would have been cheaper if you would have just given the reparations at this point. Look at your society now. And there's also a lot of people that are saying the reason why America is in such bad decline is because you never resolve the issues between white people, black people, this system, the government, because this government played a heavy role in our discrimination, just like it is now. Look at Donald Trump with Project 2025. He's trying to get rid of our history. He's trying to get rid of our authors that wrote books. They're trying to get rid of anything that they feel we are attached to. Hell, I did a video last week and they're trying to change the afro to a cloud bob. So these things are still happening to this day. And yes, you're going to come across some people that are going to be vocal about these things. And yeah, we got the coon class and they'll be more inclined to agree with you and go against their own people. But we're not concerned about them because we will deal with them one day. We definitely will get around to dealing with the coons and sellouts. They have gone on way too long, but their time is coming. So there is no end in sight as long as no reparations is paid and not only the people but the government goes on and act like, oh well, we don't owe for that. Yes you do. You will forever owe for that. You will forever owe us reparations. Yes you do. Yes you do. Y'all think because you write laws to make it legal to do things to us that you're not guilty, but see, in the eyes of our heavenly Father you are guilty, and he's not going to forgive it. You don't see any passage in the Bible that says he's going to forgive the enslavers, the oppressors. It says the exact opposite. He's going to punish you. But America is going to remain in decline. You're never going to get out of this situation. I know Donald Trump talks a good game, but Donald Trump's not capable of running this country. That's why the country looks the way that it is, because the man is not capable of running the country. He can't make it better. And in fact, at this point, none of you can. None of you can make this better. So let's hear what people got to say about why we are having problems trusting white people, and quite naturally, some of them are offended. But you know what I notice about the ones that are offended? The ones that get offended, they make it all about them. I didn't do anything. I didn't do that. They make it all about themselves. This is not about an individual, it's about a system that has been in place for centuries. And many of you are keeping that system alive and you have benefited from that system. So, no, you might not have had a slave, but your ass still benefited from the system that came out of slavery and still exists to this very day. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
I'm getting tired of you fake ass allies, and you guys are the reasons why black people can't trust white people. You guys are the reasons. It's not the openly blatant fucking racist out there who don't care to tell black people that they don't like them. It's fucking you, the person who's standing beside a black person saying, I'm your ally and I'll do anything and I want to help you get rid of this racism in this country. But then whenever a white person actually does something to a black person, you guys are like, but wait a minute. If you're a true fucking ally, you're going to stand beside those black people no matter who is giving them shit, no matter which fucking white person it is. If you are still siding with racist fucking shit coming from white people, then you are not an ally and you need to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up and look internally about what the fuck the problem is in your life, because you are the problem.
There is something so insidious happening right now to the black community, and most white people literally have no idea it's even happening. The black community is under attack right now at a level we haven't seen probably since the Civil Rights era. With the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act earlier today, you've got the purge of black federal workers, attacks on nonprofit funding with the whole DEI boogeyman. You've got attacks on the social safety net. Overt racism is on the rise across the board. And they're tired, y'all. They are exhausted by this onslaught. And it's self-proclaimed white Christians leading the charge against them on all of these fronts. So if you are a white Christian and you are not deceived by Trump, we need to rally together around our black brothers and sisters right now. We need to form a wall around them, and we need to say no more. No more, because this isn't right, and we cannot stand by and do nothing as they are getting absolutely pummeled like Reconstruction just ended or something. There is something so...
I recently saw a video of a black woman telling a group of white women that she will never trust them and will always be suspicious without even getting to know them just because they're white.
You know what I expect of white women? Not a damn thing. Nothing. I expect nothing of you because you have never given me anything. I can't trust you.
I want to explain why I am totally okay with that and why you should also be okay with it. As a white person, I have a weapon system that was built right into my skin from the day I was born that I can use against black or brown people whenever I want. And even though I have no intention of doing that, I could. And that's what matters. Let me explain it this way. Imagine that there are two people sitting across from each other at a table, but one of them has a weapon aimed at the other. And this person keeps reassuring the other person saying, trust me. I'm not going to pull the trigger. I know every single other person that's looked like me has pulled the trigger, but I won't. I think anyone choosing to get up and walk away from that table and not take the chance is completely reasonable.
There are many white people who mean right and in heart want to do right, but there are so few. If 10,000 rattlesnakes was coming down that aisle now, and I had a door here I could shut, and in that 10,000, 1,000 meant right. 1,000 rattlesnakes didn't want to bite me. I knew they were good. Should I let all these rattlesnakes come down, hoping that 1,000 get together and form a shield? Or should I just close the door and stay safe?
Nobody owes us anything. It doesn't matter how nice you are. It doesn't matter how much you try. It doesn't matter how much you learn. Consent doesn't just apply to the physical body. It applies to the mental body, the social body, the emotional body. You can do everything right, and people still get to say no.
Learning about the horrific violence that racists inflicted on nonviolent civil rights protesters and civil rights movement is just so disgusting and horrifying. And this is why I will sometimes hear Black people say, like, how can I trust y'all's grandparents? How can I trust old white people? Because old white people were alive during that time, and they were some of the people who were doing that violence. And part of me wants to defend my own grandparents and be like, well, you know, mine weren't like that. And it's true, like, you know, my grandparents marched on Washington with Martin Luther King, like they weren't on the racist side of things. However, I really cannot blame people for assuming that. I can't blame Black people for being distrustful of old white people or any white people for that matter, because how do they know who did it and who didn't do it? Like, I think that probably if I was a person of color, I would also feel the same way. I would also feel really suspicious of particularly white people of that generation. I do not blame people of color for having a lack of trust in white people, because I think that it's just a survival method for them at this point. I'm just sad that the racist history of our country is just so deep that we've gotten to a point where it has to be like that, where a lot of them feel that they have to have a certain level of distrust to survive because of the amount of racism and the amount of racist violence that there is and that there has been.
I already know, but you know what? I need to know. Are there certain Black people that just don't like us because we're white?
It's not simply because y'all are white. It's because of the fact that countless times, again and again, throughout history, when people of color, specifically Black people, have tried to give white people the benefit of a doubt, I feel like a lot of us have been let down time and time again in the form of like microaggressions to just blatant racism. It's just like, yeah, this is where we're at, because I feel like time and time again, a lot of y'all have given us plenty of reason not to trust you. And once the trust is out the window for a lot of us, it's just done. It's a wrap. Yeah. So no, a lot of us don't rock with y'all because we cannot trust y'all as far as we can see you. Because a lot of y'all just usually coming into the plot with bad intentions, purely because you are, you know, racist. And I'm obviously clearly not all of y'all, but if the shoe fits, and apparently it seems to fit a lot of y'all.
I just saw a post that this white woman put a caption that said, working with Black women is working in the trenches. And then she stitched the video with a Black woman saying that working in the trenches is working with white women. And she's like, oh, she can say this, but I can't say that. Correct. The Black woman has every right to call out white women. You know why? Because racism is still alive and well. Black women still experience more oppression than you as a white woman will ever experience. It is not reverse racism. It is not the same thing. Reverse racism, not a thing. White oppression, not a thing. This is where intersectionality comes into play, right? You as a woman could be oppressed, but you as a white person, no, not a thing. However, a Black woman experiences duality in that sort of oppression, correct? A woman and a person of color, correct? And truthfully, you proved the Black woman's point. If the post wasn't about you, you wouldn't have gotten upset.
So yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm racist. I mean, if that means that I'm racist, then so be it. But me personally, I just severely do not trust white people. I don't trust white people more than I don't trust Black people. I don't trust people in general, but I have a severe distrust of white people, even more than Black people. Because there's always this little racial bias or racial hint behind it. That's exactly why, like, I would never date outside of my race, bro. I used to, I would never again, bro. Fuck no. Fuck no.
When Black people in our community talk about not trusting white people, the white people in our community know that as a group, white people ain't trustworthy. So they don't internalize that. Like, oh my God, are they talking about me? Nah, because they feel the same way.
It's the people that don't see it.
Yeah, the not all white people who just would not fit really well. Because if you internalize everything as an individual, that's your privilege. White people are the only people in this country who have the privilege of not being seen as a group. They expect to be seen as an individual. So when people talk about white people as a group, white people get uncomfortable because they want to be an individual.
Not all white people,
right.
Many white people who mean right and in heart want to do right, but there's so few. If 10,000 rattlesnakes was coming down that aisle now, and I had a door here I could shut, and in that 10,000, 1,000 meant right. 1,000 rattlesnakes didn't want to bite me. I knew they were good. Should I let all these rattlesnakes come down, hoping that 1,000 get together and form a Sheol? Or should I just close the door and stay safe?
And see, this is exactly why a lot of us just don't trust y'all, because of statements like this that dismiss the very real disparities in healthcare when it comes to Black women. If you do the fucking knowledge and research on your own, you will see just how many more of us die from childbirth and or get turned away at hospitals and or receive negligent care. I never said in that video that this wasn't an all women's problem. I focused in on the Black woman's experience because I myself had had a traumatic birthing process, as well as a D&C a week later after giving birth to my son and almost losing my freaking life because I was hemorrhaging from my uterus. Okay, that was never the freaking point. But instead of just holding space, you had to come on here with your all lives matter bullshit and go somewhere where you are more appreciated and not tolerated.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say white folks seem a little agitated since November 5th. MAGA especially seems to be put off and angry, which is weird because didn't they win? But to the white people who didn't vote for Trump, we hear them up and down all social media going, Black folks, Black women, why are you mad at us? We didn't vote for Trump. It wasn't all white people. What they're referencing is to 57% of white voters who put that man back in office, as opposed to the 41% who didn't. And if the number seems a little incongruous to you, that's because the other 2%, well, those are the motherfuckers coming up on social media saying they ain't voting for Kamala Harris because to vote for her is to support a genocide. So let's let somebody way smarter and more accomplished than I am explain to you why that 41% doesn't exactly mean anything to us.
There are many white people who mean right and in heart want to do right, but there are so few. If 10,000 rattlesnakes was coming down that aisle now, and I had a door here I could shut, and in that 10,000, 1,000 meant right. 1,000 rattlesnakes didn't want to bite me. I knew they were good. Should I let all these rattlesnakes come down, hoping that 1,000 get together and form a Sheol? Or should I just close the door and stay safe?
Yeah, that's basically it. Maybe it's not all white people, but we got 10,000 snakes coming at us, and all of them are hungry and angry and poisonous. And we're supposed to depend on the 1,000 that might not be? When the snakes attack, will some in the 1,000 roll over and show their bellies? Will the 1,000 turn to 800, or maybe 500, or maybe 200, or maybe 50? Because the most interesting thing that y'all are doing right now is all you, I didn't vote for Trump, not all white people are acting exactly like the election went. The larger percentage of you are in here trying to do not all white people and wear blue bracelets and not understanding what's being said to you and invading our spaces. While the smaller percentage are going, okay, we get it, we'll back off. We will go talk to our people. No problem. We understand. You are mirroring exactly what happened in the election. And you're wondering why Black people don't trust you? Do me a favor, stop resisting. It's time for rebellion. Don't resist, rebel. Please support this channel. Stay safe, keep yourselves healthy, get into community, and for God's sake, stay woke.
So, y'all, I have to tell you, I've always had trust issues, even as a child, but I think it got worse when I got in the workplace, and some of them attempted to steal my work because they couldn't figure out how to do certain things, and I would figure it out. So they would literally try to steal my work. Okay. And it's happened more than once. It was not just one white person. It was a couple of them that attempted to steal my work. And I knew right then and there, I'm like, you couldn't really fully trust them. No matter how they try to sweet talk you. Oh, not all of us, not all of us. There are good white people. Really? There are? I must be, maybe it's where I live. I don't know. Maybe it's where I live. There are. They must be in other states. They're not in my state. I have to ask some of you that live in other states. They must be in your state because I can't find them in mine. Oh yeah, they'll give it to an Rosalind. They'll give a promotion to somebody they clearly know is unqualified, but that person is white. See, unqualified and white is acceptable. Isn't that what Donald Trump shows us every day with his administration? Unqualified and white is acceptable. Okay, the White House is the biggest one practicing that right now. Oh yeah, they'll do all kinds of stuff. One job I had, the day that I left, I took the hard drive out of the computer and put a different hard drive in it because I knew they were going to go in there and steal my work. And somebody I worked with that had my phone number called, and exactly she said, as soon as I left, they ran in my cubicle, turned my computer on, and they were trying to get to my work. But see, these folks want to tell you they're smarter, they're better, they do everything better, which are all lies. And then your actions is I'm going to go steal the work of this black woman and put my name on it. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to steal my work because my work was way better than theirs, and they knew it. That's why it was way better than the crap they were doing. Hmm. Yeah. No, they don't work hard. Back in the day, they used to take cigarette breaks, and the ones that smoke, all they did was stay away from their desk half the day, running outside, smoking on cigarettes, smoking on, and then going out there. And they would only supposed to be out there 10 minutes. They would be out there 20, 25 minutes. I seen it all the time. Or they would take multiple breaks just so they could smoke some cigarettes. Instead of just taking 2 breaks, they be taking 3 and 4 breaks. I've seen that too. And don't let them go out for lunch and have drinks and come back on the job drunk. I've seen that too. Mhm. But work hard? Nah, I worked with them. They don't work hard. And maybe some are good, but overall, no. They do very average work and work hard. Well, you're going to have to define working hard because, in my opinion, they didn't work hard. And there was a few that barely came to work every day. I worked with a couple of them that barely showed up in the week. They may have showed up once or twice, and then the rest of the week, "Oh, I'm sick. Oh, I'm sick." And then when you see them, they look like the picture of health. But, "Oh, I'm sick. I can't come to work. Oh, I'm sick." Okay. And I remember, one time there was this one woman in our office always complaining about being sick, and I had a personal day off, and I went up to the mall. And this was probably like back in maybe 90s. I went up to the mall, and her ass was up there with a tank top and a pair of shorts just strolling around the mall. But according to her, everybody at work, because they all bought it. Oh, she's so sick. Oh my goodness, she's so sick. Well, her so sick ass was strolling around the mall. She wasn't doing, and she didn't look like she was sick. She looked like the picture of health. Mhm. So, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And starting tomorrow, I should make this announcement. Hold on 1 second here. And did I move it? Okay, well, starting tomorrow, the hairspray bundle, the hair growth spray and the Chebe hair growth spray will be on sale. And I just got to get that posted, and I will get that posted later on today. So you'll be able to get that for 25% off. So, y'all, thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, and have a wonderful day. Be on the lookout for my next live. It will probably be more like around 5:45 or 6:45 later on. So I will see you then. Shalom, family.